So we know how to factor something when it has the greatest common factor. We divide out the greatest common factor, right? And we know how to factor a trinomial when there's no number out front. What method do we use?
Star.
The star method. Good. Take a point. So today what we're going to learn how to do is how to factor a trinomial when there is a number out front. And you still use the star method, but there is a very special thing that you do. So today we are going to be factoring a trinomial when the degree is 2. Does anybody remember what the degree is on a polynomial? It's the highest exponent. So the degree is the highest exponent. And when the degree is 2, it has a special name. It's called a quadratic. I need to make these boxes bigger. I write too big.
A quadratic meant 4.
That's a quad. Quad is 4, but a quadratic is 2. Exponent of 2. Alright. The second thing we... Sorry. So we're factoring polynomials when the degree is 2. When the number of terms... Are you not entertained?
You want me to be honest with you?
I'm sorry that I'm not doing a song and dance for us to factor quadratics. That's not how it works.
That would be so entertaining.
No. The number of terms is 3, so we have a trinomial. And the last thing that we know that we're going to use this method, the leading coefficient is greater than 1. And it's super easy.
And it's what?
Is that a 1?
See?
Oh, no.
Is that better?
No, I'm very confused.
It's fine, Tater. Hey, can we open the door? Thank you. All right. Are we ready? Yes, no, maybe so. All right. So, what you're going to do... Yeah. It's going to look like this every time. Okay? It's going to have ax squared plus bx plus c. You're still going to follow the steps of our trinomial factoring where we had the steps, okay? So, the first thing you do is you're going to put everything in your star. But we have a number up front. So, you're going to multiply a times c. And that's going to go in the top of your star. That's it. That's all you do. Multiply a times c.
Like always, 8 times 3?
Yes.
Yes.
That's our first step. Now, what do you think is going to go in the bottom of our star?
B.
B. Yes.
And then 1's on the side.
But we had 1 on the side before because we had a 1 out front. What do we have out front now?
Oh, we put A
One.
where 1 used to be.
We have an A right there.
Cool.
Well, technically, the 1 currently, right?
No, we have an A out front now.
There's like the visible 1.
The A represents the number that's supposed to be in front of X.
Thank you. And then here are still your factors. So before, you know how we would find two numbers that multiply to give us C and add to give us B?
Yeah.
Now we're finding two numbers that multiply to give us whatever A times C is and add to give us B. And then we're going to put it in our star.
So, wait, can you one more time? Can you go over that one more time?
You multiply A times C, put it at the top of your star.
Right,
B goes in the bottom.
right,
Whatever A is goes here.
right.
And then you're finding two numbers that multiply to give us AC
Okay.
and add to give us B. So our factors go right here.
Alright.
Same way we did it before. Yes.
So what if there wasn't A and C? Like, is it always A and C no matter what?
Yes.
Yes.
So
That's the point of this method.
no, but the way
Are we
you
in the
said it-
Twilight Zone?
Maybe. Miss Edgar, maybe.
Okay, now steps for factoring success. Multiply A times C first. The second thing you should do, put everything in your star. And the last thing, use trinomial sign rules. Now, what does that mean, trinomial sign rules?
The rules you did before.
The rules we did before. Good. Take a point. Okay, Bronson. Take a point as well, Bronson. Alright, are we ready to practice our first one? We're going to practice two, then I got to go to a meeting, so you're going to do some on your own, okay?
Cool.
Yeah.
You still have to work.
But you're not here.
You still have to work.
So when
We can make it so that you go to ISD every day and you don't have to be around me. I feel like we would all benefit from that.
It's okay. I hate all of y'all too.
Alright, examples.
No, I'm playing. No, I don't hate you. I don't hate you either. I don't hate Manny. You straight.
He's trash.
Alicia. You straight.
Alright, 7x squared plus 29x plus 4. Alicia.
Ooh, Alicia. I mean, Alicia. My bad, dog.
Alicia.
You black.
No, Alicia is how you say it if she was white. She's not white.
Yes, I'm not white like you, Troy.
It said on my DNA thing that I was 1% error.
No, you're
so
not.
technically,
You're 100%
that's what it said.
You're 100% right.
Make it
Alright,
star.
bro.
Make it star. Alright, so the first thing we do is we draw our star.
But it kind of sounded like I thought it was.
Then we're going to multiply 7
I thought it was Alicia.
times 4. And what's 7 times 4?
28.
And that goes on the top. Alright, what goes on the bottom right here? 29. And then what goes on the top left and right? 7. Good job, Allie. Take a point. Why is it 7 this time and not 1?
Because
7 is in front of it.
7's out front. Take a point.
Oh, we have 3.
So I'm just going to win the board.
Now, what two numbers multiply to give us 28 and add to give us 29? 28 and 1. Now, there is a last step that you have to do, but it's super easy. Do you see how if you cover this up, we now have two fractions?
Oh, shoot.
You just reduce your fraction. Okay, you see how I covered up the middle, and we now have a fraction here and a fraction here? Just reduce your fraction. Now, we can't reduce this, right? But we can reduce this. What does this reduce to? What goes into both of those?
1, 4.
1, 4. Yep, 7 goes into both, so 1 on top, 4 on the bottom.
And 6, 7.
Okay, now, then you put it in your parentheses. And all you do, since this is a 1, you write x plus 4. And then what are we going to write in front of our x on the second one? What's on top over here?
7.
7x plus 1.
Oh, can you do it without the like reducing?
No. Because if you had 7x plus 28 and you FOIL that out, 7x times 7x gives you 49x squared. What's our beginning thing? And that's not 49, is it? Awesome. Let me text Miss Brister, guys. Give me just a second.
Yeah.
Okay, does anybody have any questions? Alright, do we need to make a note that says reduce in here?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's make a note that says reduce the star. You have to reduce or you have to write this note?
No,
Yes, we just talked about that a second ago.
So this is the difference between
Yes, this is the difference between the two. Alright, you ready for the next one? We're going to do it together. This time I may throw a negative in there for funsies.
Oh, shoot.
We still do the same thing we've been doing, guys, right?
the work. All what I could.
Do you two need help?
I do. For real.
Put that down. Alright. Do I want to go crazy or just...
Go crazy. All in or none.
Go cuckoo.
Go red whisper. Cocoa Puffs. I mean, like, what I'm talking about.
Raspberry. Go cuckoo like Miss President.
I'm talking about like you talking
Okay.
about alcohol.
Number 2. Here we go. 4x squared minus 13x plus 10. Alright, what's the first thing we need to do?
Draw the star.
Draw the star and multiply A times C. What goes on bottom?
Negative 13.
Okay, good. And then top left and right?
4.
Okay, now, since C is positive, both signs are going to match what? B. So both are going to be what?
Negative.
Alright, now, let's list our factors of 40. What two numbers multiply to give us 40? 8 and 5. And they both need to be negative. What else?
1 and 30. 1 and 40.
Alright.
I think
Now, which one adds to give us negative 13?
8 and 5.
85. Now, some about 20 is also like, it gives them 40. And like,
8 and 5 is
And
squared.
then you got
Let's
8.
just-
Negative 8 plus negative 5 gives us negative 13. So that goes on bottom. Negative 8 and negative 5.
Now reduce.
Now reduce. Now, which side can you reduce? Can you reduce the left side or the right side? The left. And what goes into both of those?
2.
2.
Biggest number.
2.
Biggest number. 4.
Oh, shoot.
4 goes into 4. 4 goes into 8.
2.
Okay, so how do I write my parentheses now?
1.5 something.
X minus
2,
2.
because 2's on bottom.
And then
4x minus 5. Who said that? Take a point.
So the ones that go in the parentheses are always at the bottom.
And the top.
No, but they're like the ones you put in parentheses. Like it's
I also put my 4 in parentheses and it's on top.
I think it's the number that we divide to simplify it goes in front of the
Okay.
X.
Alright, ready for another one? Do you want to do one more together just to be safe?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do one more together. Number 3. I will force this paper to have room. Potatoes. Okay. 3x squared plus 17x plus 20
3x squared. Dang, I can't see.
at 10:30. You still have to do work even if I'm gone.
yeah.
I don't like you. Draw your star.
These papers up there says
Alright, what goes in the top of that star? 60. And how did you get 60?
That's been out there for a year.
Wait, what was it? What was it?
Yeah, you shot me like 5 times right there. Come on, man, that red's been
What
up
was
there
that?
since like.
It was a piece of paper that said my favorite student, and at the bottom.
What goes at the bottom of our star?
17.
And top left and right?
3. 10 and 6.
I'm making a hurt.
Is 1.
What?
3 times 20.
Stop
I
talking.
think I'm out of PTSD.
Nope. You have to multiply A times C.
And you gotta add them to get 60.
Alright, now let's list our factors. Leg is asleep of 60.
10 and
6
6.
times 10.
6 times 10. And that doesn't add to give us 17, right?
No.
Alright, 2 and 30. That doesn't add to give us 17. That doesn't add to give us 17, so we're not writing it down.
What's still Frank? How about
Hmm?
4 and 15?
Oh,
Does that add to give us 17?
yeah.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Unless you're a vegetarian like me.
Wait, what would the same be to do right there?
Winner, winner, veggie dinner.
Oh, okay, go.
Alright, now, which side can we reduce this time? The left or the right?
Right.
The right. And what number goes into both 3 and 12? 3 divided by 3 is? 12 divided by 3 is?
4. 4.
4. Foe is an enemy. And then, what do we write in our first parentheses?
X plus
3x.
Plus.
3x.
Good. Jordan and Allie take a point. 3x plus 5.
Favoritism.
And what goes in our other one?
X.
X plus 4.
X plus 4. Good. Take a point. How do we feel?
So why is it 3x in the first parentheses? Well, it doesn't matter, does it?
It's because.
Now, the reason the 3x is in the first parentheses is because when we covered this up,
It
right?
goes on the right side?
And, no, let me finish talking.
Sorry, I
It's crazy. And then we can't reduce this, correct?
almost flipped you off.
I'm not going to take the time to explain.
Correct. Correct.
So that's why 3 goes right here and 5 goes right there. We reduced this.
Non-divisible number.
All right, turn your paper over to 29B.
Yeah, that's 10.
I do not need your help.
Not telling you.
I do not need your help.
You should chop them in the
Okay. Oh, wait, no.
What should you watch out for on B?
Negative.
Your negatives. Be careful. Hmm? Okay.
Are you gonna be back by the end of the video?
Yes.
Cool.
Whatever you don't get finished in class, what do you think is going to happen?
Homework.
Homework. Tarea.
Is that incorrect?
Wait, what does that mean? Mind your business.
Maybe it's either correct or it means homework. It's either one or two, I think.
Alright,
You are funny, nobody.
do you want food? Somebody called me before my phone.
Why would you answer?
Did you just answer a phone in my class?
No, no, I was just checking to see what it was. It might have been my mom. Like, I didn't know.
Did you just answer a phone in my class?
Well, I hung up pretty quick.
Did you just answer?
Bro, just say yes, ma'am.
Put your phone on my desk. It's staying there all day.
No,
Nope.
sorry.
Put your phone on my desk.
please?
No.
What feels like the president?
We do not care.
Remember what you said? Even if Jesus called, he'll call you back.
If he doesn't,
Of course we do.
Jesus was like, how'd I smell?
Put your phone on my desk.
no, I haven't.
He put it on his own.
It's up there.
It's right there.
If you touch it before you leave, I'm going to write you up.
Okay.
It stays there all day.
Can I get it? It's period? Because I have period.
No.
Yeah. Please.
You should have thought about that. Okay, 8 problems.